Once again, welcome to another show of the Real Estate Guru podcast. My name is Josh Perez. This is Mario's show. Today, we've got a special guest that's fresh off Dubai trip, fresh from Atlanta. Guy that's making a lot of moves out in the social world right now. Mario, you want to introduce our guest today?
Man, this is Zoe the Goat. He got 48 Airbnbs. He has rental properties. He has Turo, and he has clothing stores, right?
Yeah, clothing stores, and also help with credit too as well.
And he helps with credit.
Right.
So, where you want to start from the beginning, like when you're selling candy, or like how you want to start it?
We can start it from there.
Okay, cool.
Man, shoot. So, Zoe, I think it's first, tell the folks where they find you at. What's your Instagram handle, and then dip right into everything you're doing. I mean, you're making a lot of moves.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook at Alfonso Dreer or Mrs. Zoe the Goat. Also, I'm really, really heavy on Instagram. Posting about 20 times a day on my stories. So you definitely can find me on Instagram at Mrs. Zoe the Goat too as well, for sure.
Awesome. So we also have your son with us.
Right.
We just sat down 2 seconds ago, introduced the young man. Introduce yourself.
What's good, Ben? My name is Lil Zoe the Goat, and I'm here to support my dad any cost. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Learning a lot along the way, aren't you?
Man.
That's what's up, man. Good. Well, man, Zoe, tell us where you came up out of nowhere from.
I mean, I always been grinding. Like I've been grinding that, since I was, in school, always trying to, make a dollar,
Yep.
always trying to be independent. I lost my dad at the age of 8 years old.
Yep.
So my mom was raising 5 kids on her own, so I really had to step up and be a man at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
So, selling candy in school, middle school, high school, selling candy, selling sodas, cutting grass around the neighborhood, anything just to get a dollar. And I just always took that hustle. And I believe that, honestly, I really got that from my parents. I'm not going to say like it was just something that came down and, hey, I'm a hustler now, or I know how to make money now. Grinder, I really believe I got that from my mom and my dad. I just took it and really, really took it to another level. So like even when I was selling candy, when I was able to get a real job, quote unquote, you had to be 16 and work at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I put on the application that I was 15 at the time, but I put on the application I was 16 just to get that job, just to get a legitimate job instead of just only depending on selling candy in school.
Do you think some of those attributes that as you go around, you start, you've been on some decent podcasts, you start meeting other entrepreneurs, people that own companies, run businesses, or teach, like what you're doing right now. Do you think some of those attributes that entrepreneurs have are innate, or are they learned? Is it something you saw somewhere that you said, that's what I want to do, or that's the approach I take? Or do you think it's something that comes from within, like it's innate, which means it's not taught, it's something that's inside you without anybody teaching it to you?
I think it's a combination of both. You definitely want to be better, to do better at first, but also your environment does dictate, your success and who you become, who you surround yourself with. For example, like, I always thought, coming up $100,000 a year was cool until I ran inside guys that's making $100,000 a month. And then I started running into other type of guys who's making $100,000 a day, so it does, your environment does, set the tone of who you can become, because now you see it and it's actually, accessible and reachable. I
agree. So right now you're making a big wave of teaching people how to establish an Airbnb business. And so describe that a little bit to the people who are maybe listening to Mario's audience that may not know anything about it.
Guys, so I actually teach not only Airbnb, but just teaching on how to, have passive income, because that's one thing I noticed that a lot of people that look like me is missing. We wasn't taught to have wealth. Like, we taught to go to work, go to job, start a business, but not really having a business that's working for you, even if you're not there. So with the passive income, some cities you can't do Airbnb because restrictions or whatever. So I teach on how you still can obtain a theme unit, and you still can rent it out on other sites like Peerspace.
Peerspace, yeah.
And, still be able to charge $150, $200 an hour, and you still make $500, $600 an hour. You're not even there physically to make that money. You know.
Yep. I totally agree.
Tell us the pros and cons on Airbnb, like all the pros and all the cons.
The pros is definitely passive income. So that's definitely the pros. But let me get to the cons first, because a lot of people like to, they want to talk about the good, but I like to talk about the bad too, because this really makes you or break you in any game. When you can really lay down the bad. The bad thing about it is that a lot of people is not educated. So if you're not educated, they can go get a unit or go stay in a neighborhood, even if you own the property. There's so many people that own a property, then they turn around and try to do Airbnb, then that HOA or that community say, hey, we don't want that here, and now you got to stop, So that's a big con. And then also, if you don't own the unit, and if you leasing it, what they call, arbitraging, well, of course, I really don't use that word a lot because some people don't know what it is. So I always just say leasing it, so anybody can really understand it. But the thing about it is, when you don't own it, you can have a property manager comes in or a new owner comes in and say, hey, we don't want Airbnb over here. But the good thing about that con is, if you don't own it, most of your money is tied aside the inside of the home, the furniture, sofa, the couch, the bar stools. So the only thing you got to do is move to another unit, and you're still in business. Not like your whole business is shut down and burned down.
That's a concept that I didn't think about, is that you still own the furnishings, so that's an investment that you can move around to something else. I personally own a couple of Airbnbs, and
nice.
I just stumbled on it, and it started out really with the podcast. I've been a student of real estate my entire life. Before I started my business, I was buying and flipping, and then my business started growing up, so I had to obviously direct attention to that. And then we started this podcast talking about real estate and teaching people,
Stocks.
the basic stuff, stocks, real estate, basic things. And I said, man, I'm talking about it. Let's be about it. So I started just buying properties and holding them. And then, the Airbnb thing, it started, it's scaling, it's growing. So I started it, and
how you like it?
I'm never going to stop.
How you like it so far?
It's tripling regular market rent.
Right, of course.
And so for me, that's better than holding a property that I already have equity in. And so if I were to just regular rent it out, I feel like the next 2 years, when that tenant moves out, there's repairs that got to be done. Everybody knows this when you're a landlord. You got to go in there every single time. But now I got a tenant that comes in there for 4 days. They're going to give me $1,000 for 4 days. And then the clean lady goes in there and she cleans it up. It looks like $1 million every 4 days.
Right.
And, the cash flow that comes from that, to me, that's a business in itself. And, so I thought that was a perfect way to make passive income.
Right.
Like you say, I'm sleeping at night. I'm sitting in my media room looking at Instagram, and I got people checking in. So I think that's great.
Do you plan on staging it like the way Zoe's doing it with like Chanel, Versace, stuff like that?
So man, Zoe dropped a few gems on a podcast that I saw, and I literally stopped it. I paused it, and I said, I yelled at my wife. I said, "Hey, come here, listen to this." I was like, "Check this out." And let me tell you where it makes sense is that when I look at the outside cameras, like of course you can't have any cameras inside your Airbnb, but the outside cameras for security purposes. Right. Let me tell you something I see every single trip. They stop and they find a wall and they take pictures. Wow. Because they're on vacation. They're here, enjoying themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I said to my wife, I said, why don't we just make a wall where it says, "Welcome to H-Town," That's what they want. Give the people what they want. Right. I tell everybody, I'm excellent at putting a product to market, any product. So you see what people want, give it to them. Yeah. And when you said that, I was like, it was like ding, ding, ding. This is it right here. Because you're giving them what they want. People will pay extra for what they want. Pay for it. That's right.
We was riding with him last night, and I've been telling my wife about Airbnb. I'm like, hey, Airbnb, mm-hmm. And then when he started talking about it, then she like hopped on and she started Googling, and then she saw how he was doing like the Tiffany background, and he was doing the Chanel background, and then the Versace, and then she got excited. Yep. So now she's like really, really looking right now. She just got a realtor license. So, but Houston is pretty cool with Airbnb. You could rent like a really nice spot and put it on Airbnb, and they cool just because you paying on time and the whole nine.
There's plenty of strategies. I mean, you touched on Peerspace just a bit. I mean, there's guys I know out there that are making a killing on Peerspace. Right. And you take a space that typically, for the most part, like right now, we know because of COVID, businesses in general, brick and mortar places are out, and so now there's opportunity. Anytime there's a depression or anything, there's always opportunity. So, the guys are out there in peer space, Airbnb, all of those things right now are definitely ways.
Yeah, and the thing about it is it's just solving problems. Like, what I'm teaching my students now is to set your Airbnb up to be the peer space. So if a photographer or a videographer is looking at your unit, you already got tripods in there, you got the lights, you got a backdrop. So they was like one-stop shop for every single thing,
That's right.
So
That's right.
you order those things from Amazon, probably cost you a few $100s, but that investment gonna make you probably a couple $100,000.
Yep.
That year.
I saw, there's always proof in the pudding, right? So I have another buddy that is in the rental space of like high-end automobiles and of course Airbnbs. And about maybe a year ago or two, it could have been a year and a half ago, a Houston rapper rented the house just to shoot a video in it. And so that goes, that falls into the peer space categories. Did he rent it on Airbnb? He could have rented it on peer space. We don't know what he rented it on, but you created an environment that people want to be there to, have the look and the feel of luxury, and it sells.
Right.
So, as also an Airbnb customer myself, because I refuse to stay in a hotel at this point, but that's just personal experience.
Right.
Unless it's, 5-star hotel that's, I'm there for a vacation, or if I'm traveling for work, I'm in an Airbnb because I want my space. I don't want to be
privacy.
Privacy. And I see good Airbnbs, I've seen bad Airbnbs, and so that's I guess kind of like what your course teaches to the masses, how to put that product to the market.
Right, of course, and like how to have it automated so it runs no matter if you there or not. It's still cash flowing.
Mm-hmm.
How many people you got on your team running the Airbnb?
We have 7 people, honestly, like 7 people, but that's not including the cleaners.
Okay.
So just 7, back office people that people never really see. That's not even including the cleaners or the maintenance guys. Yeah, the behind the scenes that's making sure if anything need to be ordered, or everything need to be reported to the maintenance guys or cleaners, or need to be in a resolution center. If anything get broken,
So like say somebody started out with the first Airbnb, what do they need? Like they need a cleaning company, like they just need like one cleaner, like what do you recommend?
They really need somebody, honestly, the first thing they need is somebody that can run that Airbnb. So if they don't have the time, they need to hire someone who has that time.
It's like a management company?
A management company, or some people are like, would go with a independent management company, or a VA, which is a virtual assistant. I don't really use too many VAs as far as my Airbnb business. I actually got like actual people. Mm-hmm. It's just a personal thing or as a business thing, because I still, I'd rather money back in the economy.
Yeah,
I got to pay them more.
You want to pay people that you know.
Yeah, pay people I know, right? Keep the money in the economy. I feel like I know these people, building relationships.
Put your people on. I mean,
of course.
You're creating jobs.
Yeah, so I sacrifice the dollar, but at the same time, I have a loyalty. They loyal to me. And, even my first employee, when I started my first business at 16, I'm not 16, but 16 years ago when I was 19, my first employee, I still my employee right now,
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. So you got to have a little bit of bad experience at Airbnb. What's the worst you've seen?
The worst? Wow. The worst is probably when I first got an Airbnb, the second or third year, and I was scaling up my business, and I ran inside a unit that wasn't Airbnb friendly before I really knew what Airbnb friendly was and what to look for and what to stay away from.
Yep.
That was like a bad experience, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. Like,
That's a teachable moment.
Learning
experience.
I was able to get out of my lease. I didn't get evicted.
Cool.
They send me a letter saying, hey, we see that you still not following the guidelines. You still have Airbnb up. Your listing up. We still see it. You need to be out in 7 days.
Yep.
But I knew honestly, if they evicted me, it would have took them at least about 30 days or more to evict me. So I counted with them and said, hey, I don't mind leaving. I know y'all don't want me here. I never admitted that I did Airbnb because I never put my name and face on my profile, guys.
Yep.
so I never admit that I did it, but I told them like, hey, y'all know y'all don't want me here. I could just find somewhere, just give me 30 days and I can leave. As long as I get my deposit back and I don't have to paint anything back or fix the holes in the wall. They said, okay, cool. You don't have to worry about paying anything. And then I was able to
Just
leave
Yeah.
right, and get my deposit back.
That's
That
dope.
could have been a win-win situation for both sides. You know, they didn't want you in there doing business like that,
Right.
and at the same time, they didn't want to go through the legal process to evict you.
It's gonna
which
some
cost them money.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they actually, one of the leasing agents stayed. I didn't know when I moved in. She told me she got the same view as me. She was like, "Oh, this is a nice apartment. You're gonna love this view."
Mhm.
Oh, matter of fact, you got the view similar. I got a view similar to yours. Like she's like, "I stay here." I said, "Okay, cool." So when I was moving in, my first day, she was my neighbor. I didn't know she was my neighbor till I was moving in. I was like, "Wow."
I would have picked.
This is gonna
I would have
be-
picked a whole different view over here.
Right.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So you go through all the in your course. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it personally, but I'm gonna pay for the course just to support
Thank you. Appreciate
everybody.
Me too.
But of course, you teach the students, you know, where to go. You basically learn from your mistakes,
Right.
and show you the way how to do it.
Right. Of course.
Has anybody trashed your Airbnbs?
Yeah,
Like,
of course. But it's not like it's a easy,
wasn't like that bad. It wasn't like
Right.
no TVs messed up or nothing.
I
like
had
that?
TVs messed up before.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
I had
real?
TVs messed up. I had couch messed up. Somebody must have had like a pool party because my couch was like
Water.
soaking wet. TVs, 2 TVs was damaged. But I got paid out for Airbnb for
Nice.
$7,500.
So Airbnb
Nice.
pays you,
Yeah,
or,
pay you.
or the person pays
The
you?
Airbnb would pay you.
Oh,
The
wow.
Airbnb would take care of the person. So that's one thing I like about Airbnb. You never have to worry about somebody
Mhm.
doing a charge back or somebody's coming
Yep.
back breaking something and you're not getting compensated. Like you never have to deal with none of those.
With your regular rentals, have you had like Section 8 or anything like that?
No, I don't do Section 8.
Never.
No, I never did Section 8.
Okay.
I got people that I got like family members and friends that do Section 8, but that's their thing. They only do Section 8. You know, I never
Never did.
I never did it.
You hear like bad stories, or you just
Not bad
chose
story, like,
not to?
It's just like when I got in the rental game, I always knew, okay, this is where I want to be at. Like I want to deal with this.
So you want to deal with more the high end type,
Not necessarily
Not
high
necessarily?
end, but more of a middle class.
like
More of a-
suburbs.
Yeah, more of suburbs.
Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
Like one of my tenants was like the teacher of the year at one of the #1 schools. Like so I dealt with a lot of people who had careers, but wasn't too high class. Just
Okay, like somewhere in the middle.
in the middle. Yeah,
That's cool. That'll work. I'm trying to get more. I'm kind of in the hood a little bit,
right.
so I'm trying to get more in the suburbs. But
But I think the hood is good though. I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like whatever you do, like start off and start doing that. If you're gonna do Section 8 of the hood, stick to
yeah, where I'm at, they're really gentrifying the, like, it's like every other house is like a brand new neighborhood. So
Right.
so it like tripled almost
right.
a couple of the houses. So I like where I'm at, but sometimes the tenants just don't care. But all my tenants right now, they're good though.
So like where you at? Are you close like by downtown or
I'm like
how many minutes from downtown? Are you
I'm like
About 10 minutes away.
like 20, like 15.
That's
15,
that's the
10?
same thing like
Yeah.
Atlanta. Like you go to the West End and it's like it's not the nicest neighborhood at all. Tyler Perry Studio, everything around there, but you still can get a property that's still close by the city.
It's like really, really close to Reliant, like South Park, Sunnyside.
Right.
I'll drive by over there with you.
Right.
I got a house I'm working on right now. I'll take you by.
I got you.
You'll be safe.
It's cool. No, I'm good. I love the hood.
Okay.
Yeah, take
Yep.
me. I love the hood.
Okay, cool, yeah.
It's an exciting time in Houston because, well, a lot of places, not just Houston, but the market, the housing market, the real estate market is just continually going up and up and up.
Right.
I saw a post a couple of days ago where somebody said there was X number of people coming into Houston and X number of per day, X number of houses available for rent, X number of people coming into Houston every single day, and that number was nowhere near each other.
Wow.
So that just leaves room for
Right.
market opportunity.
Of course.
So, and of course, everybody's starting to move around now, do a little bit more traveling after 2020. So I think the market's ripe for pickings. Anybody out there, anyone out there who's looking for another stream of income has a way. There is enough knowledge on the internet, Instagram specific,
Right.
to teach you anything you need to know and put you in the right connection with those people that you need to be following.
Yeah, YouTube
Of
University.
course.
Yep. So I only think it's smart to touch a little bit on the topic of you bringing your son with you. I commend you for it. I tote my 7-year-old around
Thank you.
everywhere we go. I just saw a little commercial earlier today with my company, and he was right there with us, learning, watching everything. saying a couple words to the camera. So talk about the importance and the reason why you bring your son with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, because the main reason is like, you know, I grew up without my father. So, you know, it's very important that, you know, I at least have my son growing up under me, because I know how easy it is for a young black man to, you know, get miscarried into the world.
Yep.
You know, because if you're not teaching him somebody's going to teach him something, he's going to learn from something, you know.
That's right. Yeah, that's
but,
right.
you know, so.
And for you, young man, I can't stress the importance of you understanding that you have your dad with you, because I'm in a similar situation. I didn't have my real father growing up with me, nor the guidance that I wanted or needed at the time. So essentially, I'm this far behind where you're going to be. So at your age, if you got guys that are going to be, you know, 6, 7, 10 years behind you, what you're learning now is going to put you 10 years in front of your peers, the people that are your age. So, man, just soak it up, man. So I'm gonna tell you, soak it up, soak it up.
So, how was InvestFest?
It was wonderful. It was great, amazing, excellent, loving. It was everything.
Who'd you? Is there anybody where you was like, oh, that's so and so? You like kind of got excited? Anybody?
Nah, really. It was a lot of people. Honestly, I didn't even know that, but still, everybody did their thing.
Oh, for
There's a lot of names I was first introduced to that was like, wow, everybody they really did great picking out, you know, who to put on that stage, I believe, you know.
Yeah, I like Ryan Leslie's story.
Yeah.
He was talking about the Apple, and his mentor was like, nah, you need to keep this money in Apple, or I'm gonna leave you alone.
Right.
And then he was like, now it's worth $17 million.
Right.
I just go to show you how stocks can, you know, catapult up if you just buy and hold.
Yeah. And it also show you the big things like just discipline, you know, just showing you, and then have that accountability partner, you know, because I feel like we get the information or we get the knowledge, but we don't have nobody to keep us, to pushing us to, you know, like how he had his own mentor that told him like, hey, if you sell it, I ain't gonna
fool with you
no more. Of course, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. I really appreciate that culture. You know, like the guys that put that on InvestFest. There's a couple things. You were a part of Shan's event that he had for people that were on his podcast.
Right.
I think that is extremely important. I wish there was probably a little bit more of it done here in the Houston area, where people got together that were like-minded, that were, you know, in real estate, in all sorts of different types of businesses, because we're living in an age right now that we've probably never seen before. I'm only 39 years old. I'm not sure Mario's about the same age as me, but we're living in a time right now when the sky's the limit for any type of person, and especially minorities.
Right. Yeah, I believe so too as well. And a lot of times it only takes that one individual to put everybody together. Like shout out to my good friend like Nehemiah Davis. He was the one that when he moved down to Atlanta a little bit over a year ago that really put all the entrepreneurs together.
You talking about Neo?
Yeah. So he put all the entrepreneurs together. Like he would set up events like bowling or we going to the paintball. Like he would just call all the entrepreneurs like, hey, you want to go paintball? They pull up.
So he's like the original member in Circle of CEOs?
I don't know if he's the original. I know he's one of the members.
One of the founders.
Right, but he's a great networker, and he really can't move to Atlanta and put all the entrepreneurs together. And you know, it made
have you been there when they all go out to eat and they put their cars in?
Of course.
You been
I
there?
love that game. I ain't never got picked. So
you never got picked? For real?
I never got knock on wood.
Explain to everybody what that is. About the all y'all go out to eat and y'all
so it's credit card roulette. So you know everybody order, you drink how you want to drink, eat what you want to eat. You know, for example, we was in Nusrat South Bay restaurant in Miami.
Yeah.
You know, they had the steak. So somebody ordered a $1,700 steak. I believe I had a steak for like $800 or something. Like the bill was like almost $6,000. Only like 5 people.
5 people.
Yeah, and I think Neo, he only had a hamburger, and me and him wasn't. We just came just to come because you know to hang out with the guys. So he was like, well, you know, put your card in, and you give your card to the waiter and tell the waiter just to close his eyes, shuffle the cards.
Okay.
Who
Who the last card standing, that's who paid for the bill.
So you never got picked.
Never got.
How many times you ate? How many times you ate with him?
Probably like I ate with him all the time. But before I was playing the game, probably like 3 or 4 times, honestly.
That's not that bad. Okay.
It's not that bad at all.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
so
so
probably about
Man,
3
so
or
we
4
gotta go.
times.
We gotta go gambling with you because it seems like you got good odds. You got some good odds.
Just blessings.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. Mario, the restaurant they're talking about,
yeah.
man, it's tight, and you can easily drop buy $1,000 worth of
Easily.
food and drink in just one setting,
Right.
easy. And but that place is pretty good. I like that place.
Damn. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go.
They got one in Dallas.
They got one in
They got
Dallas.
Yeah, they got one in Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm in Dallas like pretty much every other week, and so I've been watching him. You know, he's got the Miami one. He's got one overseas somewhere, and he just put one in Dallas probably last year, I think.
Right.
So,
That's nice.
that's why I try to stop in there and get the lunch burger.
Yeah. You don't get the gold burger?
No, I don't get the gold burger or the gold steak, man. This is a special occasion, but
Right.
it's something to try. I'm not against it because I definitely will get it if it was an anniversary or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mario, what else you got?
You want to talk about how you want to talk about how you met your wife and everything?
We get it. Don't matter.
Yeah, that's cool. That's like how you met her, like at the event, and then how y'all first started Airbnb, and then it was like her idea, right?
Not his idea. It was kind of like, I think it was my idea, honestly. Like
Right.
I had a good friend.
Tread carefully. Tread carefully. You say her idea or your idea. You got to give her some credit.
I think it was my idea, honestly, because I knew the person that was doing it in L.A.
I'm messing with this joke.
Yeah, he was doing it in L.A. Then I just came in my mind, was like, hey, we can do this in New York, just with your apartment, have it pay for itself.
Yeah, I heard this.
Yeah, because she was like, when she was on Shan's podcast, she was like on the air mattress, and she was like, trying to get it back up.
Yeah, we both was on the air mattress.
For real?
Yeah, we both was on the air mattress.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So both of y'all were kind of down at the same time?
I wouldn't say I technically was down, but she was down, so I would say I was down too. Because we together.
Mm-hmm.
So if your partner down,
of course,
you got to go down too to pick them up.
Of course.
How long ago you think this is, or how long
back
ago
in
was this?
2015.
Okay.
2015.
Okay.
Because I purchased our first house 2016, so about a year after I purchased our first house.
So how long y'all was down? How long y'all was down? Like a couple of months?
A couple months, about 6 months, probably on the air mattress, going down at the night. The air mattress going down in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and waking up,
fill it back up in the middle of the night.
Put tape on it.
So y'all had a spot in New York and Atlanta?
We had a spot. We had a spot. So my wife was staying in Atlanta before I was staying in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
She was staying out, so I was going back and forth to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Then she decided to take her company, Cupcake Mafia. She wanted to expand it and it really take it to that next level. So she partnered with this clothing company.
Yeah, I heard the story.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they had a bigger percentage of the partnership.
I thought she had 60.
Nah, she didn't have 60. It maybe was like
she had 40?
Like
So she had 40?
48. It was,
Oh.
And who started it? Cupcake Mafia. Cupcake Mafia.
my wife. So,
So when she partnered with somebody,
company, right?
Was it she just got beat out of the deal legally? You think?
She got Steve Jobs.
Beat out of the deal.
Yeah.
Like a lot of hopes. You
Yeah.
know, contracts. You get the black and white contract. Then you got a lot of hopes coming with that contract.
Yep.
But people don't. But people are looking at them hopes more than they looking at that black and white contract.
You think if she got a better lawyer, you think he could have or you think they still would have took it from him if she got a better lawyer? Because she said like the retainer was $10,000, and she said that she picked him because he looked like her, so she thought they were gonna see eye to eye, but then he was more expensive than other lawyers. So
I mean, I don't really think it's the lawyer. I think it was just the black and white, and I feel like during that time there was a lot of stress on her. You know what I'm saying? So it really was. When you stress, it's really hard to fight a lot of things. But we did go back. About a year or 2 years to buy the company back.
Yeah.
I knew that she really wanted her company, so she really went back and brought her company back.
Y'all were able to accomplish that?
Oh yeah, we did that for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Most definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, most definitely.
I was about to ask you that. Was she still involved?
Yeah, she still got she went and brought the company back.
Awesome. Good story. Again, another learnable, teachable. You learned something there,
But honestly, it was a blessing because that's how we started Airbnb, because we never thought about, I had my own business, doing retail, clothing store, and I had my rental property. So I didn't think about doing no Airbnb until she got fired from her job. Then she didn't want to stay in New York no more. So we decided to, okay, we're going to put it on Airbnb so we don't have to break the lease and we're going to have it pay for itself. So we end up making way more money. And we like, wow, we could just do this in Atlanta. Like get a condo apartment, have it pay for itself. We still not thinking about business, like having an Airbnb portfolio. We just thinking about having a nice condo right across from Lennox Mall so that it can pay for itself. So I started making money, got a second, third, fourth, and so it was a blessing, like that everything happened, like
out of necessity.
Right.
Something was born out of necessity. Again, I go back to that innate feeling in you. Nobody said, "Hey, man, this is what you do with that apartment."
Right.
You put it on Airbnb, so you figured it out. Even when even if it was a down area for you, I feel like entrepreneurs are always going to do that. They're going to figure it out and then figure out a way how to make money. I personally, I'm not scared of any failure. If I make a move on something, I'm sure you feel that way when you buy a house. I'm sure you feel that way when you're getting ready to set up a new Airbnb. You might gamble on a spot. Man, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to gamble on it. And it's a calculated risk. And you know that if you get in trouble, you could find yourself out of pretty much anything you get yourself into.
Right. But it's never a failure at all. It's just learning. I mean, you only fail if you never try though. It's just learning. Like even when I came across that property that wasn't Airbnb friendly, I learned. So now I'm able to teach hundreds of thousands of other people, now to what to look for and what not to look for. So it was never like a failure at all.
That's right.
Are you gonna come to Houston with the Airbnb?
Yeah, I'd love to come to Houston.
Okay,
cool. Definitely. Like Houston is definitely like it's like a home feeling. So I really love H-Town a lot.
That's cool.
Right.
So like, what's the most expensive gift you got your wife?
My love. Yeah. No price. But if you had to put a dollar amount, probably. Yeah. I did a lot for my wife.
No, just one gift. Not at the same time. Just like.
I bought a house. I bought a home. But really, that was last birthday. When I brought her the Lamborghini Rolls Royce. I didn't buy a private jet yet, but I flew her whole family down, surprise, and put them on a private flight. I mean, to have dinner in the sky for her birthday, and then once she landed back at the private airport, then I rented out the whole entire airport to have a private party inside there. And also had a Lamborghini truck waiting for her, when we landed. Then after that, I took it to 10 minutes down the street where we had a fireworks show, and I had Beyonce marching band come out and play for her, and then introduce her to pink Rolls Royce that I got her. I know pink was her favorite color,
You went all out.
I know. So
you set the bar real high.
Was that was like 7 figures? Almost.
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even add it up.
For real?
I didn't even add it up. I didn't even add it. Like even with the marching band, I just told him I was hunting for a marching band, and one marching band kind of canceled on the last minute, and they referred me to somebody who knew Beyonce marching band. But when I found out they was Beyonce marching band from Coachella, I was like, her favorite artist is Beyonce. I don't care what they cost. I'm gonna pay it. So I didn't even go through the whole list of adding up how much. So
you wouldn't try to negotiate. You get no discount, nothing. Just
not on that at all. Not on that. Even the restaurant, honestly. I even recorded a conversation. There is a restaurant inside the private airport. They was trying to cancel it on me on the last minute. It was like, hey, I don't think we're gonna be able to do this. I know I got your deposit. I don't want to upset you, but I don't have too many employees to accommodate what you're trying to do. Like it's hard to find employees right now. A lot of people is getting laid off, quitting, they're not coming back to work. So, but I told them I don't care about your food, whatever. Like we just want to have it here. Like I'll still pay the regular price.
That's so loud.
Yeah.
That's loud. So then you set the bar way up here.
Nah, I still got some more stuff for next year, man.
So next year's gonna be the jet, or you got?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just always trying to beat my whole self.
So I saw on Instagram, man, you were over in Dubai not too long ago. Matter of fact, a week or two ago?
A week ago.
Yeah?
Or 2 weeks ago now.
Tell us how to go. How was it?
It was lovely. It was a last minute trip. I booked the flight Thursday for my family to go out. We was there Friday.
Man.
Yeah, we was there Friday for the weekend.
Yep.
I really wanted to go somewhere tropical. But everywhere tropical I was looking at was the weather wasn't good at all, raining and.
So you said, forget all that. Let's just go.
The last thing was Dubai. I was like, wow, the weather's not too hot.
Yeah,
let's go to Dubai. I haven't been in a few years.
Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. I personally never been there, but it looked awesome. You made Dubai look.
You think so?
10 stars. Yeah.
You think so serious?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I had one of my partners, Wall Street Trapper. As soon as he saw me, I was over there. He was like. man, go skydiving, man. Do the skydiving. I want to do the skydiving, but I was like, man, I need to do something different. So I was like, I always wanted to take a picture, a video with the lion in the back of the car. So
that's what you did?
yeah,
I forgot about that. I forgot. He had a real life.
It was a liger. It was a lion and a
Yeah.
tiger.
In the back seat of a Rolls Royce or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rolls Royce.
Yeah, in the back seat, just sitting there chilling, and you.
Right. Oh, I see somebody do that. I see one of the Dubai, one of the Arab,
Princes.
right?
One of the
Did
princes,
one of
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that before.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that. I want to put that's on my bucket list. So I was like, I need to go make that happen.
Nice, nice. Those are some of the things you could do when you have choices.
Right.
And you're not tied down to to a corporate job.
Yeah.
Not there's anything wrong with a corporate job.
Or if you got passive income,
That's
now,
right,
now
that's
you're not. Now they don't have control over you. You got control over
That's right.
your destiny and,
That's right. That's
and
right.
your time.
What's your top 5? What's your top 5 places to go that you've been to?
Top 5, Africa number 1. Africa. Wow. Africa number 1.
Okay.
Then probably Bali, Greece. Bali, Greece. What else? Those are the top 3 for sure. I like Japan a lot.
Oh, Japan for real?
Yeah, I like Japan a lot.
Wow.
Japan is amazing.
Have you seen them? They doing like the real life Mario Kart.
Yeah, I seen that. They do that for real.
Did you do
I
that?
didn't get to do that, but when we
real?
go back again, I'm gonna do it though.
All right.
Yeah, like I'm more on Instagram now, like with the content. So I'm like, oh, anything different? I need to do that.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's so live. That's
Yeah,
so live.
I'm gonna do that soon. And my last one, I like Mexico a lot. Honestly,
For real?
I really like Mexico.
Okay.
I really do like Mexico a lot.
So when did you, I guess, start taking Instagram as? Would you call it your main platform right now?
Yeah, that's my main platform. A lot of people find me from Instagram.
So when did you start using Instagram? Give us a date. Like when did you say this is what I'm gonna start doing now?
It was about 2 years ago, and it was definitely a transition for my life because coming from where I'm, how I was before, I was so off the scenes, like still making money, So Instagram, like now is like kind of almost like a public figure. We go places, people kind of like, hey, like so like really kind of like no privacy no more. You know, even I'm going in my gym in the mornings. Somebody saying, hey, you look like Zoe. I'm like, somebody else said that too. I look like Zoe. They're like, oh yeah, you need to watch his podcast he did. It was good. He did on Airbnb. I just seen it. I was like, for real, somebody else said that too. So it's like no privacy no more. But at the same time, the good thing about Instagram is like you're able to reach out to some more many people and help people that you would never be able to come into contact with at all because the Wi-Fi is, I could talk to somebody in Dubai now, which is, off the radar. I'm only talking to people in my city or whoever I go travel to,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at you here in Houston, Texas.
Right.
I
think he
straight
made me off Instagram.
Straight off Instagram.
Right, crazy.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi, I tell people that y'all got to tap in this Wi-Fi money. Like, this is where it's at.
Yeah, straight off Instagram. Fresh off the plane in Houston.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up?
Tell us about your that Grand Cordon event.
The Grand Cardone event was kind of like, honestly, like one of the first conferences that I really went, that I really actually paid for out of my pocket for a VIP ticket. I went to conferences before, probably my wife is speaking or one of my friends speaking. I was like, they +1, +2, whatever. But that was like the first time I really paid, I believe it was like $10,000 for a VIP seat. But the conference was okay for the speakers. It wasn't, it was a lot of people showing their life stories.
Were you there when Mayweather was there?
No, I was there. I think it was not Mayweather. It was Peter was there. Pitbull was there.
That's my cousin.
Right, Pitbull.
I'm just kidding.
he was one of the good speakers that I really like.
Yeah, he throws out a lot of good gems.
Yeah, he does. Like Aaron Rodriguez, he was there. They had a lot of good people. As far as the information I was looking for, I got it from one person that was there. Like, wow, even though the money I spent, the $10,000, I made my investment back. Like, I know this can be able to make me a lot of money with this one piece of information. A lot of people don't realize that one piece of information can change your situation. One piece of information can change your entire business and make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, just by that one piece of information.
Yep.
And not only did that, I bet so many good people that I was able to make a lot of money with, this year. And that conference was this year right here. So the network. That
was in Houston?
No, that was actually in Florida. I think it was Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I heard about the one in Vegas, but I didn't hear about that one.
Right. Yeah, that was a 10X conference.
Mhm.
And like I say, I've been to other conferences that to me was a whole lot better. Like I like what Earn Your Leisure did, honestly,
Yep.
and not to downplay Grant or anything. You know, it was a good conference.
Mhm.
But I like what Earn Your Leisure did. I like what Circle CEOs did too with their conference. Like far as the information and how the platform was.
Yep.
I feel like it was good, but it was a lot of networks, a lot of connections that came from that Grant Cardone that I met in VIP.
Cool.
What's like your next platform like you would want to be on that you heard about?
Oprah, of course.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oprah?
Yeah, I want to be on. I think Oprah's like the top when it comes down to the platform you can be on.
Okay.
You know, the Oprahs and on that type of level. You know.
Yeah, it's true. I
Yeah.
mean, you in your circuit, you know, this is kind of like similar to, you know, if you're an artist, you know, you're doing your circuits where you go do your performances here. It's the same thing. So you've hit all the X's, you know, in your boxes. So next box on top.
We're gonna get that Oprah. Keep
Oprah,
grinding until I hit that Oprah. You know.
holla at him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Tell
no,
us a little
definitely.
bit about your course.
So my course is a
Like, what does it all come with? Like, what do people expect? Like, do they deal with you personally? Like,
right.
stuff like that.
So I have different courses. I have an Airbnb masterclass course, which it's a 4-week course, but you can honestly take it in 2 days, depending on how fast you watch all the videos, and they are pre-recorded, which I do like because you can always go back and go back to a different topic or subject, and you also get the private mentorship group, which I'm in daily, and other experts. So after the course, if you need that additional support and help, you still have it, inside of the course, because like I said, I lost a lot of money. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know nobody that was doing Airbnb on the level that I was doing in that. Like you hear people come across Airbnb gurus, but I didn't have that mentor or that support, which I know this course is definitely worth that and way more.
You put a lot of work and pour yourself into creating that course for your audience.
Yeah, I gave it all.
Good.
And I'm always adding more value and content. Like we probably meet up and talk about real estate. We probably talk about credit every now and then because I'm a credit coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely always add value to my, I believe in over-delivering. Because when you over-deliver, you get overcompensated, I believe,
That's right. Yeah.
So I always believe in that. So always adding more value than what they paid for. Even though they already paid me one time already, I still, add in and always there if they need my support.
You took the words out of my mouth about adding value. I think that if you are selling anything to anybody, the more value add to that customer, it just goes, miles and miles and miles. And you cultivate relationships that, like, when you talked about the conference, cultivate relationships that eventually at some point will bring you money, income down the road. So, man, cheers to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much, man. And like my thing about it is, these courses, like I pour so much out, but at the same time, it's like I get so much good feedback. Like so many people, was able to quit their job off of starting one Airbnb, and now they got 5 Airbnbs. Now they're making the money that they made at their job plus more. So it's definitely a blessing to be able to like teach people about this passive income. And not only that, like train them on how to use OPM, use the bank's money instead of doing it the hard way, using, your money, like tapping in on the bank's money, because people that look like us, we wasn't taught, I don't know about y'all, but we wasn't taught about credit at the table. We was taught credit was bad for you. Like you get these letters of credit card offers in the mail, throw them away.
We learned the hard way.
Because we didn't know. They didn't know. Our parents didn't know. They was pushing us probably to go to college or go to school, get a job, or, play it the safe way. But the safe way, when we know now, is not really safe. It's like really
No, it's not safe.
It's really kind of scary.
It's the biggest risk.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Like you waking up, you don't know if your job going to be there or not. So teaching everyone that look like us about financial independency is my main concern, that we know this information that's not being taught inside the school system,
I think that when it comes to teaching the young ones financial literacy, also not necessarily, for example, of if you have a high-paying job and you're making good money, don't quit that.
Right.
But put something away for yourself, because at some point that job won't be there forever. As you get older, we all know what happens now. It's not the old days where you go to work, you retire from a company, they keep paying you, you just get old. Now it's you hit 45 years old, they're looking to kick you out and put the young guy in there and start paying him, and then what are you stuck with?
Of course.
There's plenty of guys that I know that I personally know that are in their high 50s to get into their 60s where they still got a little juice in them to work, but nobody wants to hire them. And so if they had started making investments way back in their 30s, buying a property, buying this, doing Airbnb, taking that extra money and using it for something else, you set yourself up to be independent later on when you really need it.
Of course. And then like the seasons has changed. Like how you say, like us growing up, they had all these jobs, cashiers and cooks. A lot of them jobs is like robots now, machines.
Yep.
You go inside some of these fast food restaurants, you don't even have to talk to a cashier sometimes. You go to that screen, punch your order in, a cook or somebody's bringing your order right away.
Yep.
So a lot of those jobs, maybe, for example, when I was working at McDonald's, it probably was maybe 15 people working at a time.
Now there's 5.
Now it's probably 5 people, maybe.
Yep.
A manager, 2 or 3 cooks, somebody on drive-through.
Yep.
So it's like the time we living in now, we have to have something that's working for us instead of us trying to have our time working for us, For sure.
Totally agree. You soaking this all in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got to. I'm on him every day about that credit.
Yep.
I'm on my my whole family know about credit.
Yep.
And how to really use it, Anybody watching too, I don't know when it's gonna be dropped. Like Wells Fargo active credit card have a special going on right now where you can get 15 months, I believe, maybe 18 months. But I know at least 15 months with 0% APR. So basically that means you can go get approved for this credit card if your credit is a good shape, in a good standard. But if it's not, definitely work on getting your credit right. And you can take this credit card and you can invest in something. You can invest in a theme unit. You can invest in an Airbnb, all off the bank's money, like buy everything with that credit card. I mean, the furniture, the decor, the bar stools. I know places where I can go at and I can use my credit card and get a money order. So I can use that money order for my first month rent or the deposit. And guess what? I use the bank's money like a lot of wealthy people are doing, and they've been doing for decades and centuries. And now I'm using the bank money to create me a passive income investment, in my sleep.
So essentially, what you're saying is learn what you need to learn about Airbnbs or real estate. This is a real estate based podcast. Learn what you got to learn. But what he's telling us is that we can essentially, with a decent credit score, go get a credit card from Wells Fargo.
Right.
Get yourself fully in business to operate an Airbnb. I do it. I got 3. They make money. Mario's in real estate. He has tenants. You got 45, 55 units that you rent out. And you can start with your first Airbnb unit with 0 out of your pocket.
Out of your pocket.
That's right.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
And start cash flowing money on your Airbnb property, learning how to put a product to market, and of course, learning through your course how to do all those things, set up all the right structures, and then bam, you got income coming in every month outside of your job that you can start stashing away for.
But I mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But not only do you got income coming in, you also build your credit score up to a higher level, because the fastest way, the quickest way to build your credit score or your credit profile is by revolving credit, which is credit cards.
That's right.
Versus installment loans like, a mortgage or auto loan. Credit cards is the fastest way to boost your credit score up. So
then you get a higher limit and you go do it again.
Right. So you got a higher limit credit. So you got a higher limit. And not only that, some of these credit cards now, they are rewarding people. So now you probably have a whole bunch of free flights you can take because you use all those points instead of using your cash and debit card to make that investment. And now you can take a free trip to Dubai off the money that
I haven't paid for a flight. I haven't paid for a flight in 5 years.
Right.
Not one flight in 5 years. And I done flew everywhere you could think of.
Yeah, I can believe it too.
Yep.
What do you recommend if somebody has bad credit, like if they want to start Airbnb but the credit shot?
If they want to start Airbnb, most of these companies I can notice is that they know that the average credit rate, right? The average credit score right now is, I believe in the U.S. is like a 625 or 620. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't have good credit. Good credit is considered, 680 and above. Technically 700s. A lot of people like to see you at least in the mid sevens. So that I tell people, a lot of people ask, like, how can I move my credit scores? So why my credit score is not moving? But that's because what are you doing? You're not developing no good habits. You need to stop using your cash and your debit card for every single thing and you need to start using credit for everything. And some of y'all can't get approved for credit, and it's okay. But start from the bottom. It's okay to start from the bottom because eventually you're gonna be in the top. You know, when I say start from the bottom with credit, go get a secure credit card. Yes, a secure credit card. It's not an actual real credit card like you're using the bank's money most of the time. It's basically you borrowing money from your own money. So basically, instead of you going to the bank and you giving them $1,000 and you putting that on your debit card, you know, putting it in a checking account, and that's going inside of, you know, that's attached to your debit card. You basically gonna go to the bank and say, hey, I want a secure credit card, and basically I'm gonna put my money up there, and that's gonna be the security deposit, and I'm gonna use my money. I'm gonna use the money I have now. Excuse me. I'm gonna use the money I have now, and use that on, you know, with this credit card that y'all gave me on the secure card. You know, so every month that secure credit card is getting reported to the banks as if it was a real credit card. So after 6 months, a lot of people don't know, after about 6 months, a lot of these secure credit cards get reported to all three bureaus. A lot of people don't know. But after 6 months, they will a lot of times approve you for a higher limit, or they'll give you a new actual real credit card. So now you can really start building credit that way.
What credit cards do you recommend starting off? Like say if they got their credit scores like 660, like starting off, like what would be your blueprint, like starting off? Like say first you get the Chase, and then you get the Wells Fargo. Like what would you recommend, like starting off?
So a lot of these companies have secure credit cards. Like I know Chase have some good ones that I recommend. Discover have a Discover secure credit card that they can start with. The issue that we run into a lot of times is people want the fast results. They really don't want that 800 credit score, but they really don't want to put that work in. Which I noticed, and I've seen it before, and y'all probably seen it before, where guys go get their credit fixed or repaired. They got a Range Rover. Next 6 months down the line, it's getting repossessed, and they looking sad now. You know, so that's why I was like, I want to train.
When I hate to cut you off, when they would have applied what you teach,
right,
and had the Airbnb pay for that Range Rover.
Right, of course. Bam. Like they talk about in Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's right.
Right.
Oh man, we can go on for days.
Right.
On this stuff. There's a lot of good information, a lot of good gems. But we've been close to an hour now. I think that if the folks out there in the audience keep following you, keep listening to the gems, follow Mario.
Thank you.
Mario, where you at? What's your handle on Instagram?
Instagram, Real Estate Guru PK. Twitter, Real Estate Guru K. And then I think I'm on Facebook, Real Estate Guru PK. And then my regular Facebook name is Landlord PK.
Because, I mean, the stuff that he's telling us is right up top with all the cream. So,
appreciate it.
Man, y'all guys got to go tap into what he's saying. I hate to use the word tap in because it's so cliche. Yeah. But listen to what people are saying. There's successful people out there that look just like you and just like me, and they're sitting right here. And then the next generation is sitting right here that's going to be doing the exact same thing. We're sitting here talking about credit and money and getting Range Rovers for free.
Right.
Right? What's this 13-year-old going to do when he's 16, 17, 18?
You don't have no choice except to.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, man.
If your kids watching this, I want you to tell them this when they get older. You don't got to go to college to be successful. You didn't go to college.
Right.
My mom ain't go to college. She only went to college for like 1 year. And they both own their businesses.
That's right.
I got half of the school pulling me out of my classroom, asking me, can your dad help me with my credit?
Yep.
And they went to college.
Yep.
So basically, you don't gotta go to college to be successful. Or if you have your mind fixed, log on to these classes, you'll be great.
Man, you're a natural born salesman. I'm gonna piggyback that and say you're looking at a man that runs a company that's huge, that's in the multi-millions annually, that never finished high school.
Right.
That's me. So
nice.
It's all about who you know, what you know,
right.
and then your determination to get to a goal.
Yeah,
simple, man. It's simple. It's simple.
Right.
So I think we can wrap up the show. What do you think?
Plug yourself in. Plug yourself in. Like your IG, your everything you want to.
I got you.
Yeah, everything.
I got you. So if you want to learn more, you could definitely find me on Instagram, on IG. You can find me at Mrs. O the GOAT. That's MRZOTHE, the GOAT, Mrs. O the GOAT. on Instagram. I'm on there every single day. If you go, matter of fact, if you go right now, you probably talk to me right now. Just send me a DM, send me a message, and definitely follow me for sure.
Well, we're gonna wrap the show up on YouTube. It's
Real Estate Guru PK.
Real Estate Guru PK. Follow. Please like, subscribe.
Yes.
Keep watching for more content. We're gonna try our best to bring you people like Zoe that are making real moves out there. So that's all I got, man. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.